Greetings. Assalamu alaikum to my Muslim brothers and sisters. Just in case this video reaches any of you guys. But it's y'all girl Hawa, and I'm back again with another video. And as y'all can see today, we're doing something different. We're doing something new. We're doing something different. I wrote some key points in my notes, so I am going to be looking back and forth just because I need to make sure that I touch everything on here, so I'm not blabbing. As some of y'all may know, it is the month of Ramadan, which is where we do our 30-day fasting, praying, getting closer to Allah, reading the Quran, and just purifying ourselves. Anything that it's like a how I think of it is like a resolution. You know how people write down New Year's resolution? Yeah, so Ramadan is that time. Yeah, so it's that time, and this is my third year celebrating or participating in Ramadan. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about rediscovering my faith as an adult, what that looks like for me or what that looked like for me in the past compared to now. I want to say that a lot of people assume that just because you're a born Muslim that you have a strong connection to Allah or that you have a strong connection to Ramadan, but I'm here to say that that wasn't my experience and it hasn't been my experience. Yeah, so growing up, I originally originated from Monrovia, Liberia at the age of 8 years old, 9 years old. And I remember, or the memory that I have of like being back home and as far as like participating in Islam with my parents, because both of my parents are born Muslim, born Muslims, born Muslims. Like both of my parents are born Muslims. So my dad and I were really, really tight growing up. I was a daddy's girl. I was a daddy's girl. That was my guy, okay? That was my guy. So I was attached to my father at the hips. Like we were, okay? I remember I used to go to the mosque with him. Obviously, I was young, so I wasn't fasting like they would fast, but I was in the mosque with him. I was wearing hijabs. I was wearing like the clothing, the attire, and all that. So I vividly remembered that aspect. So when we moved, I began going to church. It was a Catholic church, and my parents found out they were not happy about it. Again, born Muslims, like straight Muslims, okay? I'm talking, okay, yeah, y'all know. Just strong in their faith, nothing bad, just super, super strong in their faith. I respect it. But because I didn't grow up with them, I didn't grow up in the Muslim culture. I didn't grow up participating in nothing Islam. I went to Catholic church for a while, like a while, Sunday schools, all of that things. And my parents would call me, they're mad. My mom would call crying, like, you're not a Christian. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And it didn't really bother me. Like, it didn't make me want to, just stop going to church altogether. I even went to like African churches. I was in a choir. Your girl was a church girl, okay? Like I was in a church. It's not something that I'm proud of. It's not something like it's my story, and I'm sitting here to be open with you guys and to be open to you guys. I'm not perfect, not looking for perfection. I'm just here to tell my story. So yeah, I went to church for a while, for a long time, not a while, for a long time. I enjoyed church for what it was at the age that I was back then. Then as I grew older, because I started going to like African churches, just something in me never connected. Not that I didn't connect with Allah or God as a whole, because I always believed that there was a higher power. I always believed in something, but my faith just wasn't firm in Christianity and it wasn't firm in Islam. I loved singing. I loved gospel music. I connected with that aspect. I loved church for that specific reason. Yeah, so I got to college. I wasn't really going to church in college, nor was I would pray to myself, like pray to go to sleep, pray when I wake up, or just say thank you God for waking me up this morning. I would pray, but like I just didn't go to a place, to pray. And for me it became a thing of like church is not it's not that God came down and created churches, so I stopped going. Because it's a man made place for me. That's how I started seeing it. I don't have to go to church every Sunday. I don't have to go, to the mosque every Friday to go pray. Like, I can pray at my house. So I stopped going to church completely. I would pray to myself. I would pray in my space. I would pray in my house, but I did not go to church anymore. Fast forward, we moved to Texas, and my partner was saying that he wanted to start going to church, or he just wanted to grow closer to God. And I was like, same. Like, I would love to. I said, and we can explore that together, whether it's going to church and becoming Christians, or whether it's going to the mosque and becoming Muslims. I said, but I would love for us to do that. So we started going to church. We went to church, I think, on two, maybe three occasions out here in Texas. We went to church, and again, I didn't feel that connection. And I finally sat with myself and I said, you know what? When I feel like I'm in the company of God, I will know. I don't know what that feeling's going to bring. I don't know what that's going to feel like. But I will know, I will feel at ease. I will feel at peace, because being in the church home, I didn't feel at ease. Like, I'd never felt calm. If it wasn't, I don't care about people's judgment. But if it wasn't like feeling uncomfortable or feeling whatever feeling I would feel, I was just like, I don't like that feeling, and I don't want to feel that feeling in the space of God or in the presence of God. You shouldn't feel like that. I shouldn't feel like that. So we went to church on two occasions, and it was like, so finally, um, it was during the time of Ramadan. I didn't even know it was during the time of Ramadan. I was on my cycle, and I just woke up and I called the mosque. I looked up a mosque closer to me, or closest to me, or my area, and I called the mosque and I spoke to one of their leaders in the mosque. And I said, I just want to come sit. I don't want to pray. I don't want to do anything. I just want to come sit. I just want to come see for myself. And he was like, you're more than welcome, sister. Like, of course, come. We'll welcome you. You're always welcome. And I was like, okay, one more thing. Like, I'm on my cycle. Should I stay home? Should I still come? He's like, no, you can come. You just can't participate in praying or prayer. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So I went in, and this was on a Friday. So Juma prayer is on Fridays at 1:30. I went in at about 12:30, and I sat in the prayer section, the praying room. Before anyone got there, I saw the person that I spoke to on the phone, because he asked for my name over the phone, and when I got there, he was like, "What's your name?" I said, "Howard." He was like, "Oh, you're the young lady that called." He was like, "Welcome," and whatever. So he went in, he prayed, and I just sat and I watched him, and I started crying. And I just felt like chills. And I was like, this is so beautiful. Not because of other people, not because of anyone else, but because I just felt peaceful. Like, it was a place of peace. It was quiet. It was just beautiful. So I sat there, I wiped my tears, I waited, everyone came in, they prayed. And yeah, so then I think it was like the last 10 days of Ramadan. So I ended up just going the last, I don't want to say last 10, I think it was the last 10 days of Ramadan's. And I went all those days. And then once my cycle was done, I decided I wanted to take my Shahada. And I took my Shahada. And 3 years later, here we are. But I feel like, because I did it on my own terms, because I wanted a relationship with Allah on my own terms, and I knew what that looks like for me, I feel like I'm a lot more intentional with a lot of things, with the woman that I'm becoming, with my relationship with Allah, what I want that to look like and what it does look like, the path that I'm walking in. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect, because I'm not. I'm far from perfect. But I feel like if and when we are intentional with our relationship with Allah, with whoever that or whatever we believe in, I feel that we can be more real, more authentic, not just with ourselves, but with Allah, because you're doing it because you want to do it. You're doing it for all the right reasons and not the wrong reasons. Had I done it because my parents are born Muslims and because they were disappointed, because they claimed that they would disown me, because they didn't want to talk to me anymore, because then I would fall short so many times. I would do things the wrong ways so often, but because I took my time with discovering my faith or rediscovering my faith and walking the path that I walk, I know and I knew at the time when I wanted a relationship with Allah, I got the relationship that I got because I was intentional. I was intentional in getting to know Him. I was intentional in finding myself. I was intentional in becoming who I needed to be for us, for Him, for me, for us. But all that matters truly is your relationship, what you're building with the person who knows your heart, who sees your heart. That's the most important thing ever, you know? And I'm learning that. Like I said, it's a journey, it's not a destination. Faith, religion, Allah, like it's a journey. It's not a final destination. You're forever gonna be learning. You know, you have older people or the people I've came across, they tell me like you're not going to learn everything in one day. You're not going to be perfect. Nobody's asking you to be perfect. Allah is not asking for perfection. He's only asking for intentionality. And as long as you're intentional and He sees your heart, that's all that matters. I've had certain incidents with like people who aren't like me, who don't look like me. Yes, we worship the same God. Just like Christianity, people may worship the same God, but you have people who frown upon, look down upon because they think they're better, because they think whatever they think, let them think, you know. But for whatever it is, I've had situations where I felt uncomfortable at the mosque as well. Like I don't really care to come, you know. Not that it discouraged me to stop being a Muslim or to not want to be a Muslim. It didn't do any of that. For me, if anything, it just told me like, hey, you want a relationship with Allah, you have that. You don't need people. You don't need to be uncomfortable. You know, you don't have to be uncomfortable to have a relationship with Allah. As long as you have a Quran that you open up and read, as long as you have a prayer mat that you can rest your head, your knees, your hands, and pray on, that's all that matters. But I don't want my relationship to just be because other people make me uncomfortable, therefore I can't show up as the person that I want to show up as, or I can't show up for Allah in a way that I would like to show up as Him. So I still go, you know, you make me uncomfortable. I'm not here for you. I'm here for my relationship with this person. And as long as I can come and do that and leave, I'm okay with that. So I don't want nobody watching this video to feel like I'm just sitting here like judging Christians. I'm not. At the end of the day, we all worship God. We all believe in a higher power. We all believe in God. This is just my experience. This is my journey in rediscovering my faith, my religion, and how I got to my third year of Ramadan. And you guys, this year of Ramadan, if you guys watched my last video, I talked about how I wasn't prepared at all for Ramadan this year. My baby had asked me, we were talking and she was asking me why, because I'm not a hijabi. That doesn't make me any less of a Muslim. But she was asking me when I would start wearing my hijab. And I was like, oh yeah, during Ramadan, I wear my hijab. And she's like, well, why aren't you wearing it? I said, it's not Ramadan yet. She was like, when is it? And I looked up the date, you guys. I looked up the date and I reminded myself, I don't know. I don't know. But I do have a busy schedule. I forgot the date. My Galentine came, which you guys will see, or if you haven't seen it, you can go down and scroll to a couple of my videos. You will see that I had a Galentine and I was just recouping from my Galentine. And then I received a message from my brother saying, you know, Ramadan Mubarak, I hope you, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, what? But I didn't eat that morning, but I had drunk water. I drank water, but it all worked out. It worked out because my cycle was starting that Monday that Ramadan started. My cycle was supposed to start, but it didn't start that Monday. It ended up starting on Tuesday. So I wasn't, you know, it worked out. Look at Allah. It worked out. But I was feeling so guilty. I was just like, oh my gosh, like you weren't paying attention, like you missed the dates. And you know, sometimes you can be hard on yourself. I would say Shaitan was playing in my head as well. You have the good voice and the bad voice. And you know, I was just beating myself up, or the voice in my head was beating me up like, you're a hot mess, like Ramadan started, you're not even prepared. And then that good voice would come in and say, your cycle is starting. Don't feel bad about it, don't feel guilty about it. Once you're done with your cycle, you can start over. Well, you can start fresh, and then you always have time to make up for those days. Like, don't feel bad about it. Because I was beating myself up, like, oh, but that's, again, because I'm intentional about it. I'm able to sit with myself and be real with myself and say, hey, you know what, I don't like that. That's not right. You're better than this, you're better than that. But again, he's not looking for perfection. He's not looking for a perfect follower, a perfect worshiper, or a perfect believer. He's not looking for perfection. He's just looking for intentionality. And as long as I'm intentional, which I have been for the last 3 years, you can say I've always been a Muslim. I was born a Muslim, but I haven't always been a perfect Muslim, and that's real. That's me being real with you guys, real with myself, and being real with Allah. I haven't been a perfect Muslim. I haven't been a real Muslim, as some would say, because, I've deterred, I've turned, I've walked off my path, but it's not a linear path. That's the journey of life. That's the beauty of life. You're gonna stumble, you're gonna fall, you're gonna deter, but as long as you find your way back. And the beauty of, like, Allah, I truly think, is no matter how lost we get, we always find our way back to where we belong. And he's never ever ever gonna leave us to just be astray. You might make one decision that can change your life drastically, or now I like to think like we're always one decision away from messing up our lives or messing up our journey. But the beauty of it is you learn a lesson in that mess up. So it's not a mess up. It's a lesson learned. As long as you're learning something. And sometimes we have to blame ourselves too for the turns and the what is the word? Sometimes we lead ourselves astray, and we have to be okay with that. We have to be honest with ourselves about that. We have to take accountability for that. But yeah, that's my journey, and Islam has been amazing for me. I wouldn't change anything about my journey to Islam, to rediscovering myself, to rediscovering my faith, to rediscovering my religion, because I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it for the right reasons. I'm not doing it for anybody else. I'm not doing it because society says so, because then I would be doing it for all the wrong reasons, and I would be messing up for all the wrong reasons, or I would be falling short for all the wrong reasons. But because I'm intentional about it, because I want to do it, because I decided this is what I want, everything feels aligned. I could have easily said, hey, I'm not going to participate in Ramadan this year. And that's something I used to say. I don't want to participate in Ramadan. Like, I'm already skinny. I don't want to lose weight. That used to be my favorite line. But that's because I wasn't ready. And when you're not ready for something, Allah's not going to force you to be prepared or be ready for it. He only prepares you along the way or along your journey for it. And when he feels that you're truly prepared for whatever it is that you're prepared for, or whatever it is that he's preparing you for, then you say, oh, so this is why, But because that time I knew I wouldn't have been a perfect Muslim, it's okay that I didn't participate then, because I would have been a bad Muslim. And there's no good or bad, but just in my head, I wouldn't have been the Muslim that I am today. I'm so excited. I came on here not to be perfect, but to share my story, because I know that there are some of you who are out there who want to start, or who want to take that leap of faith, or just put a one toe in the water, and you don't know how, because you're worried about perfection, or you hear a lot of people condemning you, or people saying this, people saying that. It's not their journey, it's your journey. It doesn't matter how long it takes you, whether it's Christianity, whether it's Buddhism, whether it's Islam, whether it's whatever else there is. That's your journey, but make sure you're doing it for the right reasons, so that when you're doing it, you're not falling short, and you're not, um what's the word? There's a word I'm trying to think of. You're not selling yourself short, and you're not cheating yourself out of something that you could be getting fully rather than half, or you could be giving yourself half when you could be, I don't know, but if yeah, yeah, I know what I'm trying to say. So I hope you guys understand, okay? But yeah, so that's been my journey. I'm not perfect. I'm just intentional now because I chose my own path, because I chose when I wanted to be a Muslim, because I chose when I wanted a relationship. Well, I've always had, so I wouldn't say I wanted. I've always had a relationship with God, period. I've always believed in God, period. Just, it was a matter of my faith and my religion. Before I leave, I would like to leave you guys with a message, a special, special message to those of you who I may connect to or connect with. We're not perfect beings. We're not perfect Muslims. We're not perfect hijabis, because people are going to talk. People are going to say, oh, you're only a Ramadan Muslim. And that's okay. That's perfectly okay, because we're all Ramadan Muslims. We all only do the right things during Ramadan. Your sin may not look like my sin, and my sin may not look like your sin, but a sin is a sin. And that's not to say, oh, we should continue to sin. All I can say is, may Allah make it easy for us all. But a sin is a sin, whether big, whether small, whether I see yours, whether you see mine. A sin is a sin, you know? And don't let anybody discourage you and say, oh, you're only Muslim during Ramadan. As long as you're doing during Ramadan, that is so important. Or even if you're praying once a day, even if it's your journey. It's your journey. Don't let anyone discourage you out of it. Don't let anyone discourage you into it. Take your time. Learn yourself. Learn the religion. Learn Allah. Learn God in whichever way, but make sure you're doing it for you, so you're intentional about it. People will talk. People will judge. You don't act like a Muslim. You don't look like a Muslim. But Allah is the best judge of us all, and He's not looking for the best actors or performers. He's looking at the heart, and because He knows all, sees all, and hears all, you be the best Muslim you can be for Him and yourself. And let outside noise be just that. Be intentional. Ramadan Mubarak to all my brothers and sisters. And I hope that we all get everything that our hearts yearn for, our hearts pray for or ask for or seek, that our tongues may not know how to pray for or ask for. But I pray that during this month of Ramadan, especially these last 10 days or last couple of days, I pray that we get the strength to finish strongly, and we come out of it better beings, better Muslims, better people. I hope we come out of it intentional, with forgiving hearts. That's something I've been praying for in this time. I want to forgive any and everything that have ever hurt me, any and everything that has ever made me feel like I can't forgive for my sake and my peace. I am praying for that so strongly and so proudly. So yeah, I hope you guys come out of these last couple of days, or out of these 30 days, better people. And remember to be open. And we may not all walk the same path. We may not all walk the same journey. But being kind is important. Whether you believe in Allah, whether you believe in Buddha, whether you believe in whatever it is that you believe in, be kind. Just be kind. Because at the end of the day, whatever we believe in, that's what they're looking for. Allah is not looking for perfect actors and perfect performance, because I don't want to be that to Him. I don't want Him to be that to me. When I tell y'all, this man has been bringing me from January to January to January, the fact that I've made it to where I'm at today, and even where I'm going unknowingly, all I can pray for is a better heart, a better soul, and a better spirit. And to just get to know Him, know myself through Him, know Him through me, and know Him through others. So yeah. Also, wait a minute. Thank you guys for 800 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for 800 subscribers. I'm trying to explore different things and just be open, trying to be more open with you guys. But thank you guys for 800 subscribers. My journey has not been easy, but it's been so amazing, and it makes me so proud of myself because I'm doing it on my own. I'm not doing it for other people. I'm not doing it because I have days where people are subscribing, unsubscribing, and I see it. I may not know who kudo, so don't feel bad. I don't know who it is, but sometimes I'll get discouraged. But then I have people who choose me, and I'm learning to say, you know what, alhamdulillah, because when those people leave, you're making room for people who truly, truly, truly want to support me. Not people who are supporting me for their own reasons, but people who see me for who I am and want to support me for those reasons. Not because they're having a good day, not because they're having a bad day, not because they have certain relationships with me or don't have certain relations. People are supporting me because they want to support me. And I'm reminding myself that no one has to see my vision. As long as I see it and I believe it, I can keep going, and I need to keep going. So again, thank you guys so much for 800 subscribers. Now we're on our journey to 900 subscribers. So I thank you guys so much for supporting me. I don't know all of you. I don't know your faces. I don't know you by names. But trust me, I appreciate every single one of you that support me in any way, whether it's subscribing, whether it's commenting, whether it's liking. I just want to say thank you. And whatever your journey is in this life, I wish you the best. And yeah, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.